This is the Raw Impact Unleashed.
The following Four Aces production is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is highly advised.
All right. Uh,
Me, water me, fucking
Feed
clean
me
up my
water.
shit. You
Take
son of
care
a
of
bitch.
me. You got
Yeah,
me. Take
love
care of
me,
me.
pet
Love
me,
me. Pet
wham,
me.
wham, wham. You shut the fuck
Yeah.
up.
What's up, y'all? What's up? Welcome to this week's edition of the Raw Impact Unleashed. As you can see, we're still
Oh,
reeling.
lick.
We're still reeling from WrestleMania week.
Man, he's a
Man.
rocking and a reeling, Bobby Rand. Bye,
Bye
bye.
bye 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 bye. Anyway, but man, let's put it like this. We
Okay, hold on,
started
hold
out.
on,
What's up?
hold on. Let's put it like this. Let's put it like this. Shut the fuck up, dogs. That's not what I was gonna say. All right, that's not what I was gonna say. Shut up. Wait a minute. You'll get your turn. Okay. So what I was gonna say before I was rudely interrupted by these little motherfuckers, is I want to get this out the way first. What did I text you right after WrestleMania was over, completely over? Women main evented, the finish, two belts, Becky. What did I text you?
I'm gonna have to look that up.
All right. Well, I text you. I'll fucking take it.
Yes, yes. And why
I
did you
don't care
text me that?
the botching. I don't care. We can
Yeah.
discuss the refs mishap. We can discuss Rousey's lousiness. You know, we can discuss all
No,
that.
we don't. We
But
don't
at the end of
necessarily
the
need
night,
to.
I didn't care. We don't necessarily need to, but we will. But at the end of the night, when it was all said and done, and Becky two belts was raising her hands with those two belts,
Yeah.
I said to myself, after 9 hours of motherfucking wrestling, I'll fucking take it.
And it felt like 9 hours of fucking wrestling, didn't
Man, it was.
it?
And I watched the pre-show. I started watching the fucking pre-show at like what 1:30,
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like I started watching like the countdown to the pre-show.
Damn.
So I watched the pre-show.
You watched the pre-show, huh?
Yeah, because they had the panel. Like the first, like the hour before the pre-show started, they had just a panel pre-show that was just recapping everything, completely everything. And then like the pre-show, you had a recap of some things, and then like you had a couple of matches and whatnot with the battle royals and shit. But yeah, the pre-show was really the pre-show. Goddamn it, yeah, it was 9 hours.
Damn, like I didn't even watch 9 hours. A matter of fact,
Yeah,
I kind of watched. There's a couple of key matches that I missed. I didn't miss any of the important ones, but there's still a couple of matches of WrestleMania that I have to go back and rewatch because I didn't really get a chance. I was on the road a lot of WrestleMania Sunday, so back and forth to Vacaville, etc. But I got to watch the bulk of it, and I got to see a lot of the most important moments, um, which was which was of course.
Which was, of course.
Whoa, that echo is
Oh,
back.
that echo is back.
Oh, I just cut my mic back on, bro.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Are you echoing now?
Yeah, I'm echoing. No,
You
I'm not
echo?
echoing. No, I'm not echoing right now. All right, so
Okay,
there we
okay.
go.
Yeah, it was just I muted the mic, the dogs, and then I came back. That's what it was. It's just that initial comeback.
Uh, but yes, okay. But I was just thoroughly I was impressed with WrestleMania as a whole. We talked last week about how the NXT Takeover pay per view was just straight fire from beginning to end. Like
Right.
And really, we didn't get too in depth into that. Like that main event, that 2 out of 3 falls main event with Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, proved why both of them deserve to be on the main roster. But NXT is lucky to still have them because in the old days they would have been in FCW for like a couple of months and then they'd have been on the main roster.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
NXT gives WWE an opportunity to have the shine without necessarily having to put them on the main roster, and have them work the main roster. So yeah, bravo to both of them. That match, the Fatal 4-Way Women's match, amazing. Like everything about that pay per view. And actually, that pay per view inspired myself and your boy Cole to create a brand new category for next year's Stunner Awards.
Yes, 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 yes. It's
Ne-
called "Who Got the Best Titty Stunner of the Year" award. I mean,
no,
no, that's not
no,
it.
no,
That's not
no,
it.
no, no, no,
No,
no, no.
no.
It's the Raw Impact Unleashed Stunner for Pay Per View of the Year, and of
Oh, pay per
course,
view of the year. Yeah, not pictorials of the year.
yeah,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
no, no, no.
okay.
Yeah, it's
Not
pay per view,
titties, not titties. Yeah.
not titties, right? No, but yeah, like pay per view of the year. So look out for that on next year's Stunner Awards around WrestleMania time in 2020. Um, but
BPL, y'all, BPL.
and one of the first ones that's up for grab, that's up there, one of the first ones that will most likely be on the list, but we will not guarantee, is the NXT Takeover pay per view. That one was definitely one of the best pay per views this year so far. Now let's get to the main event, the ding ding, the big dogs, the yeah. Okay, so
Ring ding dong, ring a ding a ding ding
let's
dong.
let's start with some of the segments. First and foremost,
Let's
I
cut. Go ahead and cut to the. Oh my God! You really want to talk about this motherfucker?
man,
All
no,
right.
I'm just look. Here's my thing.
Oh,
I was kind of underwhelmed by the presence of Alexa Bliss in general. Was she a pretty silver thing? What do they call them? Pendant on the front of the Mercedes? Yes. But was she worth anything to the actual show? No, not really. Like,
no, I was expecting her to shake something up
yeah,
throughout the night, and nothing really happened. It was
yeah,
just she reminded me of basically Maria Menounos
yeah.
hosting not too long ago, a few years back.
SummerSlam or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or was it WrestleMania? Yeah.
it's just okay. Here's what we're doing, guys. I changed my dress a few times. My outfit a few times. Yeah, girl, you look good in whatever you wear. It don't matter.
Right.
But it didn't give you nothing to really do. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, it was all this flash and really no bang.
No substance at all.
Yeah, yeah. Like, she did a good job for what it was, but they didn't give her anything else to do. Like, I would expect her to, interrupt, maybe throw in another competitor into, one of the motherfucking Memorial Battle Royals, one
Yeah.
of those, or something like that. Be like, oh, you thought it was over, something crazy. And that
Right.
was even on the pre-show. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm giving her pre-show shit to do. Not not just say, all right, your next match is this, or hey, we're
Look, I could
backstage.
snap my fingers and make Hulk Hogan walk out.
Right, yeah, like I have the power. And
Well,
like that,
oh,
like that was nothing.
and I'm sorry, bro. Tell me this right now. The most wrong, the most wrong meme on the internet.
Oh yeah, the one that the one that spit with just damn dot 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 dot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking it was Hulk Hogan, NWO on the motherfucking Ted Turner, I forgot what the Meteor, whatever it was. Anyway,
Yeah.
just a fucking TV truck at WCW that at one of the takeovers, hashtag takeover, that they did, and somebody goes, "This is Hulk Hogan outside of MetLife right after Kofi Kingston won the title."
And he was fading
Uh,
the big end.
and it was a big end, and then he was starting to paint the W's, but it looked like an I.
Ah, yeah.
So everybody can put the other letters together.
Right.
And what's fucked up is that video that I sent you earlier, the fucking last week tonight,
Yeah.
has
Yes.
a clip in it of Vince McMahon
Using, yeah, my
telling
nigga,
John Cena, calling him nigga. Yeah. He was like, yeah, that's what's up, my nigga. And then walks off, and Booker T and Sharmell are standing there like, tell me he
he
didn't
didn't
just
just
say
say
that.
that.
I'm like, fuck that, man. Fuck.
Oh
That's
man,
some fucked up shit. But anyway, yeah, that is the most fucked up meme. And it tells you at the beginning, if you laugh, you going to hell.
it does, it
When I
does.
looked at it, I go, damn.
I'm going to
But I was
hell.
laughing. I was
Yeah,
laughing because it was just like,
it was
it's real, but
funny.
it ain't real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
real, but it ain't real.
Oh man,
I remember watching him actually put NWO on the motherfucking truck. That was right before they threw Rey Mysterio's head into a different trailer. They darted his ass. If you look at it, Rey Mysterio's on somebody, and this is when he was like a buck, 38.
yeah.
And I think it was either Scott Hall or Kevin Nash, one of the two, had him up on his shoulder, and they're looking at like the trailers and the trucks and shit, the TV trucks. And this motherfucker takes off running towards the truck and just launches this motherfucker head first like a dart. Bloop, right into the fucking truck, man. It dented and everything. Fucked Ray up.
Oh man, now let's for a second talk about the video that you were talking about that you shared, the John Oliver video, because
Yes.
I think you said it, Jamil said it, a bunch of people, different people said it, where they said that was basically one of the best, what did you call it? One of the best
Shoot promos.
Yeah,
And if anybody doesn't know what a shoot promo is, it means I'm telling the truth. I'm
right.
being real, 100% real. This isn't fake. This isn't the fake news. This is exactly what's going down to a T.
Yeah. And so one of the best shoot, and I agreed. I'd agree 100% because I like the way he put it, and I like the way he didn't necessarily attack Vince McMahon, but at the same time he put it on Vince. Like, look, dude, you're a
Yeah.
multi-billionaire. You could take a lot better. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. I lost my internet for a second
Oh, that
on
was
my
scary. I
tab.
was like, hello, hello.
On my tablet. Yeah, my
Uh,
motherfucking shit fucked up for a minute.
it's all good. It's all
Uh,
good. It happens. But
yeah, I need to program the other internet in so when one bounces off, it'll automatically
jump to
already
the
be
other. Yeah.
connected to the other one.
But
But
anyway,
but yeah, no, I agree that he didn't necessarily attack Vince McMahon,
yeah,
but then he did necessarily attack Vince McMahon.
yeah,
Only because Vince McMahon's the only one in that position that can be attacked right now. Like
right,
he's the only main United States company that our government is a regulating of a wrestling company.
right.
ROH, that's a decent size, Impact
Yeah.
decent size, but it's not the big
It's not
guy.
global. Yeah,
And,
it's not to the
and,
point where it would be able to easily, like, it would barely cost
and,
a couple million
right,
more
and
out of
everyone
your budget
pointed
to
out
take care of all these guys.
yeah, and all these guys he's pointed out, like Roddy Piper, in his interview, he was like, I'm gonna be dead. I ain't gonna make it to 65. Let's face it. And he died at 61. He didn't get his benefits. He didn't get any health care coverage from that shit.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, that's
And
him working for Vince, having to go back at 49 to go work for Vince and get in the ring, and basically, probably take 5 years. Those 5 years where he could have cashed out for 1 year and at least been settled for a year, he wasted in the ring, going back to the ring at 49, and he wore
trying to do something
those
he shouldn't
extra
have been
5
doing.
years he had. He wore that shit out right quick.
Especially what was already going on in his body in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, you got 66 years, but if you get in the ring, for the next, 6 months, you're gonna lose 5 of those years.
Yep.
That's what happened to him.
That's pretty much what happened to him. All right,
But
so
I mean,
yeah,
that's that's all kinds of people that we don't even hear about, though.
yeah,
All
there's
kinds
so
of
many
wrestlers
more.
that don't necessarily make it in WWE, but was there for a little while or a while that we never see again. That's broke down somewhere right now because they tried so hard and they worked so hard in WWE that their bodies gave out on them. They beat themselves to death for that dream,
Yeah.
and for nothing in return.
Nothing. Well, a remembrance. A
That
wish.
well, yes,
A wish of being of the best for your future endeavors. That's
yeah,
what they received.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hopefully, let's see, let's see if Paul Levesque is as heartless of a man as Vince McMahon, because eventually Paul and Stephanie are going to be running that company. They technically already are, and on screen wise, they're doing most of the running. But I think that there'll come a day when Vince is gone, and let's see if they change some of those things like that.
I'm gonna live forever. God damn it!
Well, he is a rich man. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna be coming out in a motherfucking R2D2.
Uh, Gets my ass, bitch. No. Anyway. All
I
right.
did
So
like Oliver was like, and since he hasn't done anything to help anybody, we can remember him like this.
this
And
it
then he
was
showed
awesome.
his face into the motherfucking Rikishi's ass.
Yeah.
It's like, you can fake a kick to the face, you can fake this, but you cannot fake that.
All
No,
right.
no, you can't. And Rikishi said he didn't wipe that day just because he knew Vince was going in his ass.
Now, okay, that's nasty as fuck. Anyway, all right. So now we didn't talk. We have talked a lot of other stuff, man. Let's get to the show, man. Yes.
What the
Okay.
fuck,
So I'm
man? We
giving
talking
Cole.
wrestling. Look, this is the show. Talking about get to the show. You
I'm
mean get
talking.
to the stuff
No,
you
I didn't
want?
say no. I'm no. I'm just talking about let's get to WrestleMania. Uh, what was I saying? But
Already
no,
put myself out there.
an interesting factoid is all but what two
What?
championships changed hands.
So
All but two. Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. So
you
that's a huge thing, man. Not many times do you see that in a pay per view where like all but two championships change hands.
man, my brother goes, WWE got too many goddamn championships. Like, and now Becky got two of them. Becky two belts. Hashtag Becky two belts.
And there's still too many of them. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm like, and then you still got these tag team champions, the women's tag team champions, NXT heavyweight champion, NXT North American champion, NXT UK champion, NXT women's UK champion.
I'm gonna say it like I'm gonna say it like this to say my infamous phrase. Bottom line is this, man.
What?
I'm telling you right now, you don't like it, but I see it coming. They're going consolidation.
Well,
All of your major titles are going to be consolidated into one title.
You say I don't like it, and
well, because every time I bring it up, you're like, no.
And there's one factor why I say no about it. It's because they have the brand split.
Okay.
That's the only reason I don't like it. That you're only going to have a handful of people going back and forth. But
well, what if they don't make? What if they don't make it like that?
Like, I would rather have the entire company as a whole and have under one umbrella, under one motherfucking title type like that.
I think we may be headed in that direction.
Split up and then go. See, that's the thing. I don't want to unify it with two separate brands. I want one brand. I want WWE.
And
if
we
you're
may
gonna
have that by the time SmackDown switches over to Fox in October. I think that's what we're gonna have. We're gonna have one unified WWE.
I hope so. Because that's the only way that unifying the titles makes sense to me, and I will accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because this shit jumping back and forth all the time with only 7 people.
Well, I think what it does is can I come at it from a different angle? I think what it does
Yeah,
It
man.
creates more importance out of those singular belts. Because there's a little bit of dilution in the water to have one tier of belt for every single show. So if you how do you say, if you reconcile your top heavyweight men's belts, your women's belts, and then your tag team belts, right? Or no, not your tag team belts. You still leave separate tag team
No,
belts. Now
uh,
you can elevate the U.S. title, the IC title, and those tag team titles to a different level. You see what I'm saying? Whereas you only have this select few elite that are going after the singles belts, but you have these minor singles belts that are now taking over the show. Because you have a lot more at the mid card level, a lot more talent at the mid card level right now than WWE has had in recent history. Like since the Attitude
so
Era, we
so
haven't seen.
let me
I'm not
see
saying
if
we
I
have as much, but
let
I'm
me see
saying
if
we
you
haven't
can
seen this much since then.
just let me see if you just confused me and everybody else, or if I got this straight, and I'm just gonna clear it up for everybody else. All right,
Yeah,
all right. So you saying they need to consolidate the main championships, the
yeah.
main women's championship, the main men's championship, but leave the tag. What like, you talking about? Consolidate all the titles?
No, no. Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna. I'll say it like this. Okay, you remember how you were talking about you would not accept the consolidation with the brand split.
Yes.
Okay, here was the only way.
Shut
This was the angle I was thinking about. Is one of the ways that they could keep their brand split, which I don't think they're going to do. But here is a way that they could split, keep the brand split, and still consolidate the belts. Is that what you do? You only consolidate certain belts. Then you leave the tag team belts for separate brands. You leave the U.S. title on SmackDown. You leave the Intercontinental title on Raw. Now you elevate those titles to where they're in the main event scene on the shows. Now your heavyweight title for the men and women is only defended at the pay-per-views. We don't have any more of these random Monday nights where the world heavyweight title is defended on Raw. That's rare once in a while. They're only defended on the pay-per-views. Now you elevate your IC title and your US title and your tag team titles to your main events on your shows every week. And you make those feuds because I believe they have the talent at the mid card level to make those feuds into solid feuds, into solid shows, and make for entertaining shows. And then you have these overarching storylines that come to conclusion at the pay per views.
That's not gonna work for me either, bro.
Okay, well
That's
I was
not
just
gonna work
saying
for me
it
either.
was just an angle to me
Because,
that they
because
could work it.
I don't think that's cool that you only defending your title at the pay per view. That sucks. That
Right.
sucks. I want Raw pay per view, Raw pay per view, motherfucking SmackDown. I want defenses anywhere and everywhere. And the jumping back and forth see it don't it's not gonna work. They gotta come together. Come together.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from, but like I said, I just it's one of the many angles that I could see them taking because I've seen them do it before. We had that at one point where if you were a
I know.
brand champ,
That's
if
why
you were a
I didn't
champion, you
like it.
could bounce back and forth. But if you weren't, you couldn't. You were stuck on each brand and all that. So I was just
I,
thinking
know.
something along those
I didn't
lines.
like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. No, I just think they got so many fucking people, man, that and they're already trying to like stretch shit out. Like,
Yeah.
come on, motherfucker, throw in another match.
Well, bro, word has it SmackDown's going to 3 hours when they go to Fox in October.
Yeah, but they also not gonna be fucking PG no more, so they can do some good shit. They can actually come up with some motherfucking lick my balls type shit.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm
Hold on,
glad
hold
you
on.
said that because it triggered a memory.
Hold on.
I have to give out this award to Big E and Xavier Woods as the best hype men
All right, I'm
ever.
back.
Ever.
Hello,
Hello?
hello.
You back? Can
Yeah,
you hear me? All right. That Big E and whatchamacallit are the best hype men ever. Like like the
yeah. What
um
was that? What was that message about? Because
okay, on
at the
Monday
end,
Night Raw at the very
at the end
beginning.
of the show,
Uh
there was nothing to do with nothing about Kofi. Like
yeah.
like or Xavier Woods and Big E. I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
they didn't hype nothing up right now, man.
no, no,
What's
no.
this about?
At the
I was
very
half asleep, so I didn't
at
text back.
yeah, at the very beginning of the show, if you watch the very beginning of Raw, they
Well,
come
see,
out with
remember my shit was frozen, and I was
okay,
like,
yeah, yeah,
if yeah. So I
yeah.
missed that shit.
So okay, so basically, I went back and rewatched it at the 8 o'clock show, like I told you I was going to, right?
Right,
And
right,
so like Biggie and Xavier come out with Kofi, like Seth Rollins is giving his speech talking about da da da, and I'm here and I'm the Universal title. Kofi comes out and challenges him to the winner take all match.
right.
Right? But what's hilarious is that Big E and Xavier are standing behind Kofi. Like Big E's got his big eyes, and he's like, "Is he gonna accept?" And he's got that look on his face, and him and Xavier are like holding on to each other. And then Seth Rollins says, "You're on, dude." And Seth Rollins' music hit, and you just see Xavier and Big E in the background just start rocking out. They just start rocking out to Seth Rollins' music. They're like, "Yeah, yeah." It's just so energetic. I believe that they are the perfect like side piece to Kofi Kingston. Like Kofi's a funny guy. Kofi can cut a good promo, but when you add their histrionics behind his promos, bro, like he's got his hype squad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Kofi's the cool
sure.
the cool dude that's got his hype squad behind him, and everything he say, they're like, "Oh, yeah, he got you on that one." Oh, like it's just it reminds me of that, and it just makes me laugh, and that's why I just give them the credit as being some of the best hype men like ever.
Hell yeah, I agree. We don't
So
agree on much, but I agree
agree
on
on
that.
that, you know. All right, so last thing we'll kind of
Pretty.
talk about without talking about the matches is a certain doctor came back this weekend at Wrestlemania.
You talking about that mathematical genius?
That mathematical genius, exactly. Uh, yeah, but I agree. I'll agree with one wrestling fan that I read on his Facebook page where he said what that particular gimmick would have been better suited had he been facing Kurt Angle.
Yeah, yeah, for
Much
sure.
better. It
For
was his exact words was it was wasted on Elias. Uh,
yeah,
so for those of you who didn't watch WrestleMania, who want to know, John Cena made a return to his Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick, which, by the way, he looks like a 40-year-old man trying to dress like a 20-year-old. Like, if you just wanted to have John Cena come out and start rapping, that would have been fine. But dressing him up in his old gear, like, he looks like a 40-plus-year-old man trying to look like a 20-plus-year-old man. He truly does.
yeah. He looked like motherfuckers from Jump Street 22 when they went to college, and everybody was like, "Y'all are fucking old. What are you doing here?" Like I didn't know you started college in your 40s. Like,
You know,
yeah,
exactly.
shit.
But he came out, and I'll give him credit. He had a few zingers in there. Like I was like, all right, you had a couple good ones. He wasn't winning no rap
Man,
battle, but he had a couple good
he
zingers in there.
he was trying to pull a rabbit from 8 Mile, bruh. He was like, I do live in a trailer, and Wade did fuck the girl, but I'm still standing here trying to fuck the free world. Like, that's what he did. He goes, my movie suck, and blah, 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 and yakety yak, don't come back. And then he was like, you ain't gonna get an AA, but you about to get a FU.
uh, I just hope
And
they
then
don't bring that back as a
there's
regular character.
Nuts and Bush,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was like, man, he straight up ripped off 8 Mile right here.
Mm-mm. But no, but it was a segment that was unnecessary. I'll give Elias credit. Like it was pretty funny. Like when this nigga pulled out Elias, and Elias playing
Oh,
playing Electric
yeah.
Blues. Like that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, man. I pulled out my harmonica. I played with him. I played with a
Uh,
lot. A lot.
oh man, but yeah, Elias just yeah. And then the next night on Raw,
You know what would be the best thing that happened? You
what?
know, instead of fucking John Cena interrupting Elias,
Yeah.
since it was the Hall of Fame and the Honky Tonk Man got inducted, he should have been the one to go
Yeah.
out there and fuck Elias up.
No, it should have been Jeff Jarrett introducing the Honky Tonk Man coming out to whip his ass.
and both of them go down there and do the concerto.
Exactly. That
Yeah,
would have
that'd be
been much
awesome.
more entertaining to see. No offense, John Cena, but you look like you look and sound like a 40-year-old man
What's
trying to be
hilarious?
cool.
What's hilarious is we was talking about this, right? And
Uh,
your ass was, man, you know what? The Undertaker should have came out right then.
in
And then
the
the
in the
next
American Badass
motherfucking,
gimmick, yeah.
the next night, yeah, you did say the American Badass. So you was 70-30 rule. All
Yeah.
right, 70-30. You was 70% right. You just had higher wrong.
Right. I had his
But yeah,
wardrobe wrong.
this shit, the next day I was like, I just texted you, well, there you go.
Yep. Well, no, because it was. I will give them credit. Every once in a while, WWE throws together a segment that's just timed perfectly. Everything works out right, and that was one of them. Like
Yeah.
Elias came out, did his thing, said he was gonna rap, and starts rapping. Which I hate it when people think like poetry cadence is rap.
No, no,
Okay,
he
no,
was
that's
copying John Cena.
yeah, I know.
That's how John
That's why I said
Cena
John
does this
Cena
bullshit.
thinks.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but so he does that, but he gets to the one line where he's like, "And the next man to interrupt me is gonna be a dead man," and just
Boom.
dong. That was awesome.
He's here. Baller.
Michael Cole needs to start charging WWE per every time that he says that. Oh man, and real quick before we dive back into this WrestleMania, what the
Oh,
fuck was
well,
up with that? Okay, so here's the thing.
what happened?
So Dean Ambrose is done with the
What
company,
thing?
right? Dean
Yeah,
Ambrose is done with the company, right? That was his last match,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Why am I
Bobby
reading
Lashley.
reports now that this nigga is probably about to take a 6 month break and he'll be back by SummerSlam? Like I
What?
didn't read like eight on like three different sites. I didn't read like multiple reports from Dave Meltzer saying like we could have all just been swerved. Like he's done with the company for right now, but he intends to come back and re-sign in like 6 months. He just needs to get away from the da 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 because he doesn't like where creative's going with. He didn't like where creative was going with his character and what they were doing.
Well, maybe he needed a break, but
Maybe
maybe by the time he decided to come back to WWE, AEW has opened their doors. We don't
yeah,
know. We don't
we
really
don't
know.
know.
All we know is he's done right now
Yeah,
at WWE. That's all we know.
yep,
So, we can speculate about everything, and yeah, maybe he just needs some time. He did
yep,
just come back though a few months ago from his fucking injury, so
yeah. No,
it's not
that's
like
all.
he needs the rest.
Yeah, no. I just think, like I said, if you look at where his character was heading, like evidently, according to Seth Rollins, I can't remember the podcast he was on, but I was reading an interview with Seth Rollins where it was off of him on the podcast where he was talking about that Dean wasn't happy with the split. Dean didn't want to split from Seth. He didn't want to
Yeah,
have to fight Seth.
right,
He's like no. He's like the crowd didn't want it. He's like we didn't want it. He's like, but WWE did it anyway. He's like, according to Seth, he's like, he thinks that's where things started going wrong with Dean and
right,
WWE,
right.
where Dean was like, fuck this. He's like, you ain't even trying to listen to me. And and if you think about it, Dean has a right to feel that way because at this point in his career, as big of a star as he is, he's a fucking Grand Slam champion. If he wants to have say into the direction of his character, he should have say. Period.
Yes, yes, to an extent, to
You
an
know what I'm saying?
extent.
Yeah, like he shouldn't be able to say tomorrow I want to go out
But
there in a Raggedy Andy costume and wrestle like
but
shit like that. But he should have
that's
say like if he wants to stay in a tag team and they want to stay together, they should be able to say, "Nah, dog, we don't want this split. We want to stay together."
right, right. Especially the timing was all wrong with Roman coming out and saying he had leukemia and all. It was just all bad.
Yeah,
It was all bad. They had just won the titles too. It was just that whole scenario was terrible. So yes, I agree with Seth. I agree with Dean, and you've seen what they did for him the last couple of months. They let him do pretty much anything he wanted to do. He walked up, slapped the shit out of Drew McIntyre. He would just
yeah,
come out and when he was supposed to have time to cut promos, he would just say, "Go get him,"
go
or
get him.
"Slay the
Yep.
beast." He said, "Slay the beast," and he was supposed to actually cut a whole promo.
Right.
So he's like, "Fuck it." You know what? Y'all
I
want me to
do
do
it
this?
my
I'm gonna show you.
way.
And I gotta say, the best Dean is the last Dean we've seen. The last couple of months of Dean
Yep.
that they've let us have has been the best Dean so far.
And that's also what lends to my to credence to the notion that he may just need a break and he may be back. But
Well, yeah,
WWE is playing it up because they truly don't know. Because he never it's not like he resigned a contract and took a break. He didn't
right,
sign his
right.
contract and
No,
he's
he ain't
taking a
signed
break.
anything. Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
He's
Like he might resign in 6 months, he might
two
not. So they
two
had to
days
play it in.
now. He's a free agent.
Right.
You can contact him at Dean Ambrose, WWE at gmail.com for bookings because he
uh,
does not have a 90-day no compete clause.
yeah.
He did not get fired.
He
So
served out his
he,
contract. Yep.
he is a free agent to go wherever he pleases, whenever he pleases. And since it is that type of situation of creative, AEW will give him whatever he
Stop
wants. And
trying to
that's
convince him to go to AEW.
and, and he knows that's a bunch of his friends over there.
Stop
Bunch of
trying to
his
convince
buddies,
that
man.
man.
I don't have to convince him. He already knows. Everybody
Nah,
knows.
nah.
Everybody knows.
He may, like I
Gene
said, he may be back.
Ambrose is going to be debuting at their next pay per view.
Yeah, and it's gonna be you in a wig. Anyway,
I wish, man. I'll do it for $100.
for $100, huh? All
$100,
right.
man. Yeah, that's more publicity than I can pay for. So I'll take it. Give me $100 in 5 minutes. That's all I need.
So it took approximately 4 minutes of total ring time for one champion to retain his title and for another champion to lose his title.
Yeah, yeah.
The champion that lost his title, of course,
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. And yeah, lost it in under 3 minutes to Seth Rollins. Like
2 minutes 30 seconds
I'm
official.
still, yeah, I'm still wondering what the story is behind that quick finish. Like I truly do, because I don't know.
What?
Like
It
I'm not
was
saying I'm buying into the whole thing that what Paul came out and said, and I'm not trying to go down that conspiracy theory. But I just think there was some particular reason why. I just don't think that was the original plan. Like
it, okay. We got to time it from contact to bell time. Okay,
yeah,
so you really got 7 minutes worth of action.
yeah,
So with
yeah,
that
because Lesnar
said,
does beat him up
it,
before the match. Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't necessarily 2.5 minutes of actual show that they gave us. There
right.
was more, but yeah, it was pretty quick, to say the least. And it does, but it does what they wanted it to do, and it's got you saying, "Hey, Paul Heyman said some shit over there.
Hmm.
Is that why this shit was so?" See, it's got you, man. It's got
Yeah.
you. See me, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Brock. I'm tired of your ass.
Well, I'm glad he lost the title. Don't get me wrong. I am completely glad to see the title around
I'm not
Rollins'
looking,
waist.
and I'm not looking into anything. I don't care if he went to Vegas. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like,
Oh
fuck you,
yeah.
Brock. Done.
Well,
Finished.
no, no, no.
Finito.
I'm
In
just
a year and
wondering.
a half.
I'm just wondering
Huh?
if it was Vince's last "fuck you" to Brock on his way out the door. Like, yeah,
Probably.
you can get on
Yeah.
Seth early in the match, but Seth is gonna end you in about 3 minutes and take that
Yep.
strap, and then you can take your ass wherever the fuck you want to take your ass.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
yeah,
That's
uh,
exactly where my head was going.
but you ain't leaving here with my title. But
No, no, no. Who you think? Bret Hart? Bret Hart ain't even leave with the title. We fucking screwed him. Oh, wait a minute. Bret screwed Bret.
Brett screwed
So
Brett,
Brock,
right?
remember Brock. Don't let Brock screw Brock.
And
Okay.
of course, the other match we were talking about was Samoa Joe retaining his U.S. Championship over an
Yeah,
injured Rey
that's a
Mysterio.
6 minute match, though, bro.
Yeah, in under a minute.
What do you mean in under a minute? That was a
Accord,
6 minute match, bro.
hold on. According to where is it?
It was like a 6 minute match. I swear to God.
According to Wikipedia, it was 1 minute.
Okay, they have changed that. That's not correct.
And Joe
Not
was bragging on Sunday that he defeated Ray in under a minute or in a minute.
nah. Maybe bell time to bell time. But Joe beat
Maybe.
the shit out of Ray.
Yeah, for a
Joe,
minute, yeah.
it was like the same thing that Brock and Seth did.
Yeah.
Like Joe beat the fuck out of Ray. So yeah, maybe bell time to bell time was a minute. But I remember about 6-7 minutes of actual like action.
See, I just
Joe,
remember seeing Joe coming down talking shit, and then all of a sudden I blinked and it was over. And he was like, I turned around back to my computer, typed something from because I was doing my homework, looked back around, and it was over. I was like, oh, okay. It kind of reminded me of the Daniel Bryan match against
Oh,
Sheamus.
yeah, 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 yeah. The
You know,
bro kick, and
yeah, the
then
bro kick
yeah,
done. Yeah, 18 seconds. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. It was longer than that though.
yeah, it was a lot
It,
longer than that.
and I'm pretty sure it had more action than just that bell time minute to minute.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I'll tell you which match had had some of the most action of the night for me, and that was Shane McMahon and The Miz, who literally
Yeah,
battled all over that fucking arena. And bravo to Shane McMahon and The Miz for taking the fucking final bump in that fucking match off of what had to be at least a 40-foot
nah,
scaffold.
nah. Fuck that. Fuck that. That shit was rigged for that. It was set up for that.
I
You know
don't
what
care.
wasn't
That
set
fall
up for that? You
hurts.
know what wasn't set up for that?
What?
The Miz hitting Shane McMahon in the face with a baby monitor. Not actual monitor for a baby, but a
Yeah.
small tablet monitor. He hit Shane McMahon in the face with a tablet, and that motherfucker flew over the railing, onto a golf cart, and then onto the fucking floor. He wasn't
Uh,
supposed to go to the floor. He bounced off the plastic of the golf cart because he launched himself, and then launched himself literally onto the concrete. That,
uh,
friend, is the Bravo bump of the night.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that motherfucker just went like, pow! It was like, man, he ain't even hit you that hard. He sold the shit out of it and literally about broke his fucking neck doing it. That's
Damn right.
that's like in the movie you seen Fighting with My Family, right?
Not yet, bro. Not yet. I still gotta watch it.
Never mind then. I gotta move on next.
No, no, no. Tell me. I don't care. I'm not
No,
one of those people that don't spoil the movie for me.
no,
Shit, read me the whole fucking script. I
no,
don't care.
no, 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 not gonna no. Well anyway, in the movie, one of the reasons Paige's brother don't get booked by WWE,
uh,
it's the head trainer there goes, he's a journeyman. He's not the star. He's not going to be the star. He's the type of guy to throw himself off a cage to make the other guy look good. And that's Shane McMahon.
yeah,
You know, Shane McMahon go through glass. He'll go off of this. He'll go off of that. But it's more or less to make you look good.
yeah,
You know, and most of the things he does, he takes the bump instead of doing the bump.
yeah, yeah.
Like he'll
Well,
jump off the top of the cage for an elbow, but you move out the way and he goes through the table. You know,
yeah.
shit like that.
Well,
Um,
he took the bump,
but yeah,
but got the win.
but see, but yeah, that's the point I was just making. That like Shane's the type of journeyman.
Yeah,
He's not the star. He's the one that puts over the star. But in his own right, he is a star.
he
So
is a star. Yeah.
don't get me wrong. There, I'm not saying Shane McMahon's shit.
Well,
You
let's
know,
be
like
truthful. Let's be truthful. Shane is famous for some of the beatings that he's taken from some of the top
yeah,
WWE stars throughout
yeah.
the years. You know, so
Guaranteed. If him and Kurt Angle never had that King of the Ring match,
uh,
then Shane McMahon would not be as popular as he is right now.
yeah, amen to
Just
that.
like just like if Mankind, Mick Foley, wouldn't have jumped off the top of the cage. You can't even say the Undertaker threw him off because Mankind ran and the Undertaker was just barely touching that motherfucker.
Yep.
So he threw himself off the cage.
Uh,
But if he wouldn't have done that and then went back up there and then went through it and all that and did all that shit, if that match never would have happened, Mick Foley would never be the person he is now.
yeah,
So
and he'd
it's
have all
those
his teeth.
small
No,
moments, it's those small moments, those one-off matches that actually set in stone your legacy. And Shane McMahon made a legacy with Kurt Angle that night, and then went on and had many more crazy hardcore matches with RVD and Taz and a lot of the ECW guys at that time. So yeah, Shane definitely like set in stone his work ethic, especially in the ring.
amen to that, sir. Amen to that. I also look at, and here was my only, and I know for you it probably wasn't, but here was my only disappointing outcome of the night: the women's tag team title match. I genuinely and honestly would have rather saw Beth Phoenix and Natalia or Nia Jax and Tamina win over the Iconics.
Not me, man. Honestly, Honestly, I'm over Natalia. Been over Beth Phoenix long time ago, and now seriously over her with her comeback. I forgot how bad her fucking promos were. To tell you the truth,
Okay.
I forgot. I just forgot. It feels so forced and stutter step to me when she talks. Like
Okay.
you would think, like she would have that comfortability, but it feels like she's not comfortable. So it makes me uncomfortable. Um, Nia Jax and Tamina. Tamina don't really do nothing no more. Nia Jax is just I'm a big bitch. So at least the Iconics are fucking annoying. At least they do something. You know what I'm saying? At least you notice.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Maybe then, if none of the other options are good, then just let Sasha and
So
Bailey
now
keep
they're gonna be
the.
annoying fucking heel. No, no, I would rather. Yes, I would rather. But if like I would have to pick, that would be my second choice. Like the Iconics are my second choice. Sasha and Bailey should keep the shit, but it looks like Sasha's fed up with the whole situation and she's trying to leave WWE now.
Really?
I don't. I don't know. I just think that a bunch of contracts are coming up. It's contract season. Motherfuckers are fed up with the way shit's been going on, and they're not getting what they should get.
I also
And
think that.
AEW
Go
is
ahead.
right there. AEW is right there.
I think the emergence of AEW has led a lot of speculation that any time that somebody isn't immediately
Yeah.
happy with
Hell yeah.
WWE, they're going to they might go to AEW. They might go to
That,
AEW, even if they never mentioned anything or said anything like that themselves. That's going to be the immediate speculation because that's the only company that can pay them similar to WWE.
yeah.
Impact can't.
Yeah. Well, Impact can. They choose not to.
Yeah. Okay. Better said.
ROH can't. ROH can't.
Right.
Compared to Impact actually having millions behind it that just won't.
Right.
Because so many people have put millions and millions into fucking TNA/Impact Wrestling that they're like, no, there's not no more. The new owner, the new organization, no. Anthem, it's like, no, we're gonna run this like a fucking house show, and that's what they've been doing ever since then. Um, but they actually spent some money because I know Johnny Impact, he still gets paid his WWE fee.
Really.
Johnny Nitro, Johnny Mundo,
Well,
whatever you
he
want to call it. Yeah,
delivers, so I
and
can't knock him.
yeah. No, I'm not taking any,
Oh no, I know
time
you weren't. I was just saying in
saying he
general. Yeah.
overpaid or anything. He
Right.
just never dropped his price when he came from WWE to the Indies.
Uh-huh.
He just never backed off that price. So that's his price. Either book him or don't.
Right.
That's what he's working for. Um, and and that's like a lot of those guys that leave WWE that has a name
Mm.
and brings it. Like RVD, WWE, he gets WWE money wherever he goes.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
because he owns the rights to that name. Oh yeah. So you're paying for the name and the man. Gotta pay double,
well,
bitches. No.
it ain't you ain't necessarily paying for the name. The
But you're
man,
gonna
the
make money off
man,
the name.
the name is the man. The man is the name.
Right.
So it's no
Well,
separation
what
there.
I mean by you're paying for the name is that certain names up on the marquee are gonna draw people in just from the name being on the marquee. Like if somebody says Ric Flair is here tonight, that house is 90% of chance packed. Just based off the name, it doesn't matter what Ric Flair is doing. Ric Flair doesn't have to wrestle a match. All Ric Flair's got to get in the ring is get in the ring, flip everybody off, and say, "Hey, they
Well,
paid me to be here,"
yeah,
which is basically
yeah,
what we saw him do at
that's a,
WrestleFest. You know what I'm saying?
and,
And that makes money just from Ric Flair standing in the ring, flipping everybody off, and everybody getting to scream and yell back at him. That makes whoever the promoter is money. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. There's certain names that draw that in, like and RVD would be one of them for sure. Is that you put RVD's name on your headline and people are going to show up.
yeah. But you
So
said it like you separating the name. Just the name. The name is what does it. Nah, the shit the man did gave him that name.
right. Oh
It's
no
the
no, I feel
same.
you.
But then again, with your Ric Flair thing there, and RVD for that matter, it's our generation taking their kids to say, "Hey, check these guys out." Especially Ric Flair. Check this guy out before he dies. Not RVD so much, but definitely
Yeah,
Rick Flair. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
It's
you.
like Jake the Snake doing an appearance. Yeah, it's gonna pack the house because we taking our kids. Our generation's taking the kids to
Are we
say,
taking
"Hey,
ourselves? Shit.
you got one last shot to see this motherfucker," and that's yeah for me too. It's like I got one more shot to see this last chance.
Exactly.
Right? We on that farewell tour right now. So yeah, that type of name brings in even more because they're gonna bring in more with them. It's just not us going. Where RVD, it's us. You know what I'm saying?
Big
This
time.
motherfucker, we ain't taking our kids to go see a stoner. You know what I'm
My
saying?
daughter knows her daddy's a stoner.
But you know,
She doesn't watch
you
me
know,
smoke, but yeah.
you know what I mean.
I feel you. I feel you.
Proper people, Kevin.
Right.
Proper people, not them urbanomics motherfuckers like you.
Ergonomics.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, no, okay. Uh, uh, but yeah, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying 100%. But man, let me give it to my boy. We've been kind of dancing around the subject all night. Congratulations to Kofi motherfucking Kingston.
Boom, boom, boom.
I don't even know how
Yeah,
else to say it. Like, bro, it brought me to tears watching him on Raw when he came on wearing that belt. It brought me to tears watching him on SmackDown, and it definitely brought me to tears at WrestleMania when he won it. Like seeing his sons in the ring and throwing them T-shirts out and all that, and I'm like, oh, finally saw it in my
yeah. It's a good
lifetime.
moment. I finally got the chill moment from Kofi Kingston.
Yeah,
The chill moment, the moment where like the Rock's music hits, Stone Cold's glass breaks, fucking the countdown for Jericho. Like there's certain things, fucking Undertaker's entrance. There's just certain things that happen. That you get to chill on. Mark Henry's fucking retirement speech, turn on Cena, that shit. Just certain things give you the goosebumps. Them chills, that the feels, if you
yep.
will.
I feel you.
And I didn't get the point of like crying and stuff like you made it, we made it. I didn't get that. Because I know Xavier Woods and Big E was saying that to him when they was holding him up. Be like, man, you know what? You made it. We made it, man. We made it. Free bird rules. Free bird rules. Free bird rules. Free bird rules. but yeah, it was that ultimate moment of completion of like, oh my God, finally, now we can start having some fun
Yep.
because he the WWE champ. We're gonna have a lot of fun. He ain't gonna lose it for a while, and then the next night it's like champ versus champ. What the fuck? And then we go to the first commercial. And it's like, Kingston title celebration tomorrow on SmackDown Live. Okay, he ain't losing tonight, baby.
He didn't either.
Spoiled man have been a Raw for me. Fine. And then it turned out not even to be a spoiler because the match got interrupted
By the
and
bar.
by motherfucking Philadelphia cream cheese
Uh-uh.
and and motherfucking it turned into a tag team match. But I did like how Seth reiterated, "Hey, we'll finish this later. How about we take on these motherfuckers right now?"
Yep.
So that sets up the motherfucking bullshit.
Which is why I'm making my bold prediction right now.
Yes.
That combination is going to happen at SummerSlam. For the next few months, we're going to get Kofi on SmackDown, Seth on Raw. And they're going to keep teasing us all the way up till SummerSlam. Then SummerSlam is where somebody's walking out with both them belts.
Oh yeah, they ain't gonna throw in a night of champions in between here and there.
If they do, then I throw my hands up in the air. I'm completely wrong. Then it'll most likely happen at Night of Champions. But SummerSlam is your next big crescendo.
Right,
Or
right.
maybe you get
Yeah,
another almost match at Night of Champions where it comes to some shitty finish and they still both get to keep their belts. Somebody interferes or some shit like that. And then at
just
SummerSlam you get
the
the actual
momentum
match.
going because it's
Yeah,
gonna be a long time. You know
yeah.
what I mean? That's 4 months,
So, or they might
right?
just
So
let it slip out
three,
your
three
mind
months,
completely.
3 months. It's in August, right?
Yeah,
SummerSlam,
it's in August. Yeah,
first week, some shit like that. First week, second week.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we got 3 months, so we got all summer to contemplate, speculate. and
that's all I'm doing is it just and procreate, huh? No,
yeah,
but
at
I
least
think
like
I'm going.
that.
And
Huh? What happened?
I said I think I'm going to enjoy Kofi as champion. And here's the thing about it is that yes, was there a part of me? Was there a part of my heart, a decent sized part of my heart that cried because Kofi is an African and has won the WWE champion? Yes. The other 75% of my heart and my eyes cried because it was Kofi Kingston. And this was
Yes.
a dude I wanted to see
Yeah.
win the WWE title for literally damn
And
near a
see,
decade now.
I've been trying not to see color the whole time. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like even from the line,
the
nobody like
historical,
me.
yeah,
You know, like ever since I was like, I love Kofi from when he was fucking up his Jamaican accent till now. You
yep,
know what I'm saying? I've been there through the whole journey, and that was it. That was like the ultimate, payoff through our journey with him.
yeah.
Was that championship? I didn't see it as first black. Yeah, yes, I know.
You acknowledge, but
Consciously,
yeah, yeah.
yes, and I acknowledge it. Yes, and I'm happy for it. About fucking time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Goddamn shit. But
This makes
like
this
it
seem a
was cold.
little less
Yeah,
racist.
a little bit, just a little bit,
Just
a
a little
little.
bit.
But then it came back the next night when it was title versus title. I was like, there you go again, this mother. So he can't win, man. He can't win. He can't fucking win. That's like for a while.
No shit.
But yeah, it was that moment of that man, not of what he is, but
Yeah,
who he is.
who he is by far, by
Who,
far. And I
who
think
he
that will, and I think for a lot of, for it to be, not to put it blunt, or to put it bluntly, but for a lot of black folks, that's what it was that made it so emotional. Was there was this double feeling because I think there was a lot of black folks in general
is.
that just liked Kofi Kingston. And there were a lot of
Yeah,
fans in general that just liked Kofi Kingston, and that was a moment that black folks and white folks could share together as an emotional moment, not because a black man is now champion, but because Kofi Kingston is now champion, and
but
Kofi Kingston is
but
that guy that everybody has loved. Even when the New Day was a heel,
but
everybody loved Kofi.
but now for all the little bitty black kids out there, y'all, you have somebody to say, hey, look, you can do it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's
All
like
you gotta
it's
do is keep
possible.
pumping. Yep.
It can happen. You can become world heavyweight champion
Here's what's
of,
funny.
of the world, of the world, of the
Of the
world.
world, of the world. The Podcast Brothers, another podcast out there in Twitterverse that's in my podcast group. They put up a thing today asking who was your greatest, like who was the first wrestler that comes to mind, or your favorite wrestler that never won a world heavyweight title. And I had to sit there and think about it for a while. And I came across this name while doing
Rock,
some
rock,
research on
homie.
it. That's one of them. He was on the list that I was looking at.
That's my number one man that should have been WWE champion at least 3 times.
For me, Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, yeah.
As many of the other championships that he won, he never that world heavyweight title eluded him. And I
Yeah.
always thought he was one of the WWE's top personalities, or WWF's top personalities and top performers. So to me, like there's that lineage. You know what I'm saying? For me, as a kid of
Uh-huh.
watching
I'll,
guys like
I'll
that.
I'll give you even one better.
What's that?
Yeah, because NXT titles don't count.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Yeah. But I heard his spot should be
He's on
coming up
his way.
soon.
He's on his way. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
on his way.
I've heard that.
But
that
just a current wrestler that should have already been champ a couple times. Drew McIntyre.
Big time.
Like that. For sure. Out of all the live rosters right now that's on in every promotion, Drew McIntyre is that guy that should have already been WWE champ a couple times.
Well, word has it that he's the first in line for Rollins' Raw Championship, to go after Rollins
That
in the Raw
that
Championship.
was a good few because they've been working it out with him destroying the Shield, for the past couple months. So him and Rollins just had a great ass match.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
not too long. So yeah, and him and then Ambrose and him, Yeah, I'm
Let's
down
just
with a McIntyre Rollins feud.
let's
I'm
just
down
hope
with it.
that they don't move him on the Superstar Shakeup next week to SmackDown. Let's just
He
hope
did
that.
show up there, didn't he? He did come in with
Hmm.
Philly cream cheese.
With
So
Philly cream cheese, yep.
yeah,
But Drew's definitely up there. But I wanted to give a shout out to them on that because that truly like had me thought provoked and had me having to go do some research. But Drew did end up losing his match to Roman Reigns at Mania, unfortunately
yeah,
or
yeah.
fortunately. I
And
don't
that
know.
was
It
a
was a
good
good match.
match,
Yeah.
man. It was a good match. Hey, I don't say this about Roman Reigns matches at all, like
No.
ever. That like ever. Swear to God, ever. Leukemia changed that motherfucker. He actually had a decent fucking match.
Nope.
I actually sat here and enjoyed it. I don't know if it was more Drew being the general that he is,
Yeah.
or just Rollins fucking finally getting it, or Reigns finally fucking getting it.
Nope.
But yeah, he still did his old shit. But he put together some new shit, and it was a lot more lively
Yeah.
than his normal thing. It started out slow. I will hand it to it. Did start out slow when they went to the corner, and then he knocked McIntyre off of him out of the corner, and he took his sweet ass time to walk over to him, and then Irish whip him and shit. Like that started out really slow. They can
Yeah.
pick up the pace a little bit, but I understand the build. Two big men building up to the climax that they had. It was a good match. Can't say a great match. Can't say it was a 5-star, 4-star, or even a 3.5-star match. But 3 stars is good, and it's a good match.
Yeah. Big time. Uh,
So Reigns has improved a wee bit, and it's not because he had cancer and I'm feeling bad for him. No,
it's because he actually got better.
he
Now,
actually been working. You can tell.
in what has been a disturbing trend as of recently, we have these old guys coming back to battle these old guys for their final match. So somehow in this match, although Triple H was the one who had his in-ring career on the line,
On the line.
Batista loses and retires immediately after the match from his in-ring career. So it really was just baffling to me. It's like, okay, then why didn't you make the storyline that it was for Batista's career and then have Triple H win? Like, I don't know.
Because you can always come out of retirement if you just retire yourself. But if somebody else retires you, that should be for good.
True.
But it's never say never. It's never for good.
Oh man, I don't know. I
And
don't
I
think
swear
we're
to
going to
God,
see
Ric Flair
Batista
is going to have one more match in WWE.
probably, but I don't think we're going to see Batista back in wrestling anytime soon. I think he's another one like The Rock. He's making too much money, and
As soon as they threw up that motherfucking special trailer, I text you. Okay, now I know why Batista came back for a match.
Yep.
That was plain and simple. He wanted his movie there, and it was like, "Hey, we'll promote your movie, but you're gonna have to work it for it. You know, you're gonna have to job to me. You know, that's exactly what Triple H said. He was like, "Hey, you want us to promote your shit? You want millions and millions of people." He has a button on his phone when he starts to say that. And it's The Rock, millions and millions of people to see your shit. Then you're gonna have to job, man. You're gonna have to 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. You're gonna do it. You got to do it. And he's like, "How much I'm gonna get paid? $50,000 plus we'll show you your motherfucking thing. The millions and millions." And it's all good. He's like, "How long's the match?" He was like, "Less than 25 minutes." He's like, "Done."
done. Yeah, and they gave us some good moments. Like, don't put it past it. Like, it wasn't a great match overall. It was maybe like 3-star at best, but they gave us some good moments.
Yeah, there was a couple of good moments. Triple H fondling his fucking sledgehammers over at the corner. You grabbed one, and then he was like, "Nah, I don't like you. I don't like that's Bet. I want Betsy. This says Betty. I want Betsy." And then he grabs the other one, and I'm like, "All right, which one's the gimmick one? Is the one I'm gonna break? Is that the one that's gonna break?" Like, you're like it had me so confused. It was, we pass up this perfectly good sledgehammer for that other one that's up in there. Like, he had to reach up in, he had to get up in there, dog. It was constipated. That's how he had to get up in. And yeah, I was like, well, that's a botch. If I had never seen one, get the camera off of him right now. He should have a mic hooked up to him so he could be like, "Don't look at me right now. Don't look at me." Don't look at me.
All I know is this: is
And
that yeah, it was Triple H's worst
then,
intro
and then Triple H
ever.
to finish it, he gonna run across the ring and do a Superman sledgehammer to the head, to steel steps, and then
uh,
get the over there. And come on now, that was
all right.
man.
Well,
I
we didn't
thought
spend.
Triple H blew out a quad after he landed the steps, man. When he landed all sideways and crooked and shit, I was like, oh, there go the quad.
Oh hell no! All
If
right.
it was Kevin
Well,
Nash, I'd be like, oh, there go the hamstring.
uh,
If
uh,
it was Razor Ramon, I'd be like, oh, there goes the trunk. Oh,
uh,
no, 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 no. I'll take it back. I'll
Um,
take it back.
another championship that changed hands was Finn Balor again as the
No,
Demon this
yeah.
time.
Oh, see, there you go. Yeah, the demon was there. It
Uh,
wasn't Finn, man. It was
well, you
not
know what?
Finn.
When he came out on Monday Night Raw, he was Finn Balor and gave Sami Zayn an Intercontinental title shot. He was Finn Balor.
That was a good ass match.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good ass match. And it was so great with Sami Zayn. So great.
I
Fucking
love this new character of
just,
his. I truly do.
just loving up the crowd, loving up the crowd. He loses the match and goes, screw all of you.
Yep.
I think a bad guy anyway. I don't know why they're doing this. Kevin Owens was a bad guy when he got hurt and left. Sami Zayn, same thing. They come back. They give Kevin Owens his. They don't even give him his character back. They just
Yeah,
say, okay, now you do the KO show. That's all you do. Like, and now he comes out and stuns everybody out of nowhere.
that was
Stunner
pretty
out of
tight.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Just to upstage Randy Orton's RKO.
Uh,
So that which that's hilarious and it's all good and stuff, but that's a face.
yeah.
That's what face does. You've been sitting here setting traps for AJ Styles and fucking Randy Orton and the chicks and motherfucking like Becky Lynch and Charlotte that one time. You know, you've been like poking the bear, so to speak, but you ain't been the bad guy that you was when you left. And then Sami Zayn came back as the good guy too. And I was like, all right, so maybe they're gonna put them together and they're gonna be a good guy tag team. And then Sammy turns at the end of that match, which was great. And I was like, all right, well, KO's coming out and he's stunning motherfuckers out of nowhere. That's a heel thing, but everybody loves it, so it's a face. Just like when Stone Cold did it, it wasn't a heel thing anymore. It was a
Yeah.
face thing. So I'm like, I'm so fucking confused of what they're doing with these two. And obviously they're going to get shooken up and they ain't going to be a tag team no more because that ain't even on the radar right now.
Right.
But Sami Zayn, during his little speech or whatever, you know, after the match, which was really short and sweet, he pretty much was like, fuck y'all, all I need is my friends. It's basically what it's like. Like it's just me and mine and fuck y'all. So
Right.
that still gave me the hint of a KO thing, which they're, you know, best friends in real life anyway. So why not if you got them both on and they work very well together. But yeah, that's what I want. I want the KO fucking Sami Zayn to come together because that's when they was the best, especially as bad guys.
Yeah.
Right
They were
before
at
they
their
both
best.
got,
Yeah.
it was off the hook because they're just running around roughshod everywhere. It was great.
Oh man.
So what else? What else, man? What else? It's 8:08.
Well, I want to talk to you about something that's very important to me, Cole.
I'm not gonna marry you. I'm not gonna do it.
No, no, no,
We've
no, no.
been,
The woman behind me
been
is going to
together,
marry me. I'm good with
been
that.
together for a decade. It's common law. This year,
No.
would our anniversary. Okay,
All
would.
right, man.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk to you about women's rights
hmm
because women they have
Yeah.
the right they have the
Women
right to
have
do
the right
things,
to
Cole.
wash my dishes, to take out my clothes, clean my house. They got the right to shut the fuck up when I tell them to.
But you know what
Nah,
they mainly got the right to do?
whoop
Punch
my ass.
redheaded
Get
champions
stupid
in the
and stuff.
face.
Oh
uh,
yeah. That man Becky Lynch laughed that shit off and then went and beat
oh,
her
I didn't
ass.
say she hurt her. I didn't say she hurt her. I just, well, hey, not on SmackDown. She left Becky looking drunk in the skunk. She left her stumbling over herself. Oh man! So it looks like Lacey Evans is going to be the first woman to challenge the, what I expect to be long-term champion for her two belts.
2 belts, Becky. Becky 2 belts. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was surprising because I wanted Becky to hit Lacey.
Yeah.
Like
I just wanted
what?
Lacey to do something. I
Well,
was
see,
over
that's
the
the
moon.
thing. That's the main thing in my mind when she came out and Becky came up and they faced each other. I was like, Becky, knock the shit out of her and be like, bitch, if you coming out here, you gonna do something.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I wanted like to happen. But then she actually hit her and I was like, oh shit, she did something.
Uh,
Damn, she did something. And now they
I think I
scrapping.
texted you. I think
And
that's what
she's
I
in
texted you with. I
heels.
was like,
She's
"Yay, she
in
fucking did
heels.
something."
Yeah. And she was in high heels doing that shit too, bro. That's fighting on a ramp on high heels. Try to do that shit. Try.
Now
Try. Break an
now
ankle.
let's get her in a fucking ring and let's see a match. Come on, man! Like
Yeah.
y'all have literally been parading her down to the end of the ramp and back up for like 3 months now. Yes, she finally did something.
Yeah, for sure.
So to be honest with you, I didn't even give a shit that she got her ass kicked at the end of the day. She did something. That was all that mattered to me, was that she fucking did something. I was so over her walking down to the end of the ramp and turning around and going back up.
You know who else did something?
Who?
Did you hear about Enzo and Cass?
Yeah, I did hear about that. That they invaded ROH, or not ROH, but G1, and attacked a bunch of ROH superstars.
Yeah, and New Japan did not know about it.
Now, did ROH though?
Yeah, but they
Okay.
under contract to New Japan.
Oh, Enzo and Cass are?
Yeah.
I thought they were under contract to ROH.
No, they are not officially signed with ROH. They are officially signed to New Japan.
Wow.
So they breached contract.
Wow, so they might not be with New Japan too much longer, huh?
Maybe not. But it also could big ass work. But it seems New Japan's pissed off about it, so it might not be a work at all.
Wow.
So in the next coming weeks, I say the next 2 weeks we'll know the finale of that situation. Yeah.
So, well, man, that pretty much covers it.
What? I wanted to shout out this thing I watched this past week. It's okay. You've heard of ICW, right?
Right.
Insane Championship Wrestling out of Scotland.
Yeah.
Biggest UK promotion ever. Even with fucking NXT UK, it's still bigger than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Grado and Drew McIntyre, a bunch of guys. Motherfucking Sheamus at one point. Cesaro, fucking what's his name? Barrett, Wade Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these guys came through there at one point before they went to WWE. They did a show called Rogue to Wrestler, where they take 10 random rogue people, not aspiring wrestlers or anything like that, like not tough enough type, but just randoms, 10 randoms, and turn them into a wrestler in 4 weeks.
Wow.
It's a 3-part show. It's like an hour and a half each show is. It's a 3-part series on the BBC. And yeah, man, it's done so much better than Tough Enough is.
All right, Rogue to Wrestler. I'll have to look that up. Y'all look that up too.
Yeah, Rogue to Wrestler. I'm not gonna tell you one, but because it's only 3.5 hours away. You know what I'm saying? Like it's quick and they get whittled down real fast.
Right.
But yeah, it's one of the best. Like, it doesn't give you everything, but it gives you most of the stuff that you would that you should understand by the end of it how wrestling business works.
Okay, bet that.
And it's really cool. Yeah, it's really really cool. But yeah, it's done so much better than the fucking Tough Enough shit.
It's bullshit. They got.
And it wasn't fucking 12 episodes. You know what I'm saying? It was 3 episodes, 10 people, 3 episodes. It was fucking awesome. I want more. I want another season of it. I want another 3 episodes. New people.
3 episodes. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
The whole world wrestlers. Keep going till the whole world is fucking wrestlers.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I had to shout that out right quick.
For sure. Well, for those of you who may have tuned in right now expecting to hear K-Double's fifth period music class, that'll be coming up immediately following the Raw Impact Unleashed. Y'all already know my artist of the week this week is the one and only Jimi Hendrix.
How we both go different. Like I went more Purple Rain and you went more not Purple Rain, Purple Haze, and you went just rock. Just I was wow, he just like talk, and you
No, yeah. Jimmy's always been one of my favorites. He was definitely one of my Pops favorites. I'm kind of dedicating this episode to Pops.
Nice.
It was one of his. It was one of his. I got 12 tracks from Jimmy, and then I actually threw in some Muddy Waters and some Johnny Lee Hooker. On the
nice.
Inspiration Corner, because they're literally directly listed as inspirations for Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
And then, we close out with a song I want you to hear and all that stuff. So that's coming up immediately following this. I don't really have any shout out to the indies. Bro, this has been a great show. But I'm going to play these promos and then that outro, and we can call it a day.
For sure.
All right, players. So thank y'all for listening to us tonight. We appreciate it. If you're listening to us on podcast, thank you for listening to us that way. Find us on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and also
M2. If you're on Mark.
Yeah. Let's see. And then we also got Mr. Deacon's Experience tomorrow. We got fucking West Coast Bias will definitely be on this Sunday to talk NFL draft, to talk the Lakers, and to talk NFL or NBA playoffs. So that'll be on Sunday at 3. So they'll definitely be on at 3. So be sure to listen in for that.
Yeah.
And then be sure to catch us next week at 7 as we talk. It's going to be another great week. WWE's got Superstar Shakeup going on. I'm going to look it up. I just posted it on the fan page. If you go there and check it out, the Raw Impact Unleashed fan page, the New Japan is putting together their card for the Domaraku, I think is the name of the event. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. And I got a little something I'll talk to you as soon as we get off the air about for next week, and we'll keep it a surprise for them. But thanks for listening, y'all. We'll catch y'all next week. Any last words, Cole?
Take it easy.
Man brain. You know you want it. You know you need it. Let me introduce you to our team of audio professionals, 100% committed to giving you the greatest extreme comedy podcast of all time.
What's SPH? I'm so super cute.
Send me your orgasmic release videos.
You can get it rootin'. You can get it tootin'. You can get it doing doughies in your yeet. Mi nombre es Tío Yeti. And you just laugh at little Hank. I ain't gonna pretend I is fresh. But looks like you might like that.
And most importantly, I'm Skullfucker. Rah! Go to manbrainpodcast.com to get orally violated. Manbrain out.
Hello, Radio World. This is K-Double here to let you know about KD5P, K-Double's fifth period music class, a bi-weekly music show here on the 4 Aces Presents Radio Network, where every other Friday night at 8, I take you on a musical journey through the careers of some of your favorite musical artists. So check me out on Spreaker.com/4 Aces Presents Radio or on iHeartRadio every other Friday at 8 p.m. on Revolving Door episodes. Peace. KD5P.